So how's everybody doing today? Homelite, Super XL-130. Been importing it and running into issues and everything. But, so what I'm running into here is I have a tremendous amount of footage to show you. My furnace kicked on, I'm just going to talk through it. It would take me like 8 weeks in order to give you everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compress a big section of it down and just kind of explain to you what went on to get you brought up current faster. You know what I mean? Because this is actually running and going right now, and you still got a whole lot in order to get to this. So what I'm going to do is just kind of go through what I ran into. So I had to tear the saw down a couple of times and go through and fix different things. But one of the things I did is I kind of went down this downward spiral of just making bad mistake after bad mistake. Making bad decisions. It was like, well, I wonder if it's this. So I went after that. But let me kind of explain to you what it went down. So the next video should have been about this muffler here. So basically, this is a muffler off of a Super XL Auto. And when I first bolted it on, I didn't pay attention. And here the ports don't line up. And the Super XL Auto port was blocking a decent chunk of the exhaust port. So the muffler was blocking a decent portion of the exhaust port. So that was going to be the next video you're going to see. I ended up fixing that and testing it. Still failed. I ended up along the path, I was like, boy, I'd like to turn this saw up because it is performing so well at 101. So along the path, during that whole process, right after the muffler, I turned it up to 98 degrees. Okay? Which gave me a tremendous amount of blowdown. You can imagine. So what I did is I made a correction on the blowdown to help compensate. Bad mistake. Everything went south. I ended up in the cut. No power whatsoever. It was horrible. I could get it to run fine, but it wouldn't come up to RPM. It just would not behave. So at that point, I decided to go ahead and do a few other tests. Now I forgot to mention, so during that teardown of me turning it up to 98 degrees, I did find the ever so elusive air leak. It was at the reed cage. The reed cage had a crack in it. I had rigged up like a bicycle pump pressure tester, but I was eliminating the reed cage from the pressure test. So, yeah. It ended up being a bad reed cage, so I got that taken care of. So where am I? Got the saw tore down, put it at 98 degrees, put it in the cut. It was awful. Just downright awful. So I decided at that point that I would start doing more testing to see if I could get it to run better at 98 degrees. But basically what I did is I started adjusting the timing. That's advancing the timing, retarding the timing, and all sorts of stuff. A bunch of trial and error stuff. And nothing helped. It just made it worse, actually. Any adjustment I made on the timing made it run worse. So then, I was pretty discouraged, I ended up sitting on the saw. I think I made a video or so of just you know, being like, I just can't figure it out, all that stuff. And then it dawned on me what I did wrong. So, I think the next video is the next video after this is the one where I fix it. It's simple. It's the one thing that I never talked to you guys about. I installed a boost ports, and when I installed the boost ports, I shouldn't say installed, I ground in boost ports into the cylinder, and throughout my adjusting and everything, I ended up messing up the timing. Caused me to lose all blowdown pressure. Everything went haywire, you know. But the next video after this is going to be the one where things turn around. Okay, we're going to literally yank the cylinder off and start again. Simple as that. So that's where you're headed into in the next video on this saw. Just kind of wanted to give you a quick summary there, because there's a whole teardown, tons of testing. I think there were like 5 videos involved through all that process, and I think you got a good enough idea, because the muffler was a video, the air leak was a video, the adjusting, you know, taking it to 98 degrees was another video, and the testing was another video, and adjusting the timing was another video. So you can imagine I just wiped out all of those videos right here. I'm bringing you up current, a little closer. So you're still going to have 2 more videos until you see this thing run for the first time. Like, really, you're going to see the first time that this thing actually takes off and goes. So be prepared for it. It's coming. What else? I think that's it. I really wanted to make this video and bring you guys current, you know, instead of making you wait another month or month and a half of videos. You probably noticed I like to break my videos up a little bit. Whenever I go out and do testing, I'm not taking one saw. I'm taking usually no less than 3. I'll say between 3 and 10 saws come with me every time I go cut. Then I'll be doing testing on some of the ones I fixed, or just running it for the heck of it. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of keeping these videos going, but this one has taken so long that I wanted to bring you up a little more current. There's just so much video on this, so much footage on this saw, you know. And I wanted to get you brought up current faster. But I mean, we basically just end up throwing a cylinder on. But you'll see on the next video. I'll go through all that, and then I'm actually going to show you the porting work. The video after that, we're going to show you the porting work that I did to it, and then we're going to go out the video after that, and we're going to test it. So you got the third video. We'll be in the wood. So, it's one of those things that comes with building. This is the first time I built this saw, and it's been, I guess you can say, I'm developing what works, what doesn't, and I'm surprised. I was expecting it to need boost ports to perform, but it doesn't look like I'm going to need them. So I'm actually quite surprised about that. Now, a little something here. I need carburetors. I'm finding the more I port these Homelites, the more I'm going to need carburetors. Stuff off of 80cc saws will need to be put on the 60cc saws. You understand? And just keep your eyes open if you don't mind. Right now, the HS26A is my favorite one to use. That's what I'm using in this. Came out of my XL-700, but now my XL-700 is sitting over here with no carburetor. I need to replace the carburetor. So what I'm finding on these Homelite ports is they're sluggish after you port them. Okay? And any of you guys who do piston port jobs, you know that sluggish usually means you need an extra degree of intake timing. Well, this is a reed sol. How do you do that? Well, I actually don't think it's the reeds that's causing our problems. I discovered on this one here. The issue is the carburetor. It's the throat of the carburetor. Let me show you. That tiny little throat down in through here, this hole here, is too small. That's what's causing us to be sluggish. The Super XL Auto I ported, it's sitting at 103 and it's sluggish as all heck. And that's with a factory carburetor. So I might look at modifying that carburetor. Maybe if I can take a die grinder in there and open that hole up a little bit, maybe it'll help. I don't know how much material I could remove, but that's coming. We're gonna see about opening the throat up of the carburetor with a grinder to see if we can improve some of that sluggishness. But right now, I'm finding that I need those larger carburetors for these builds. And you can imagine what I'm going to run into. HS26A, any of those in that style, I prefer non-governed carburetors. It's just some of the governed carburetors you got to deal with different types of circuits and everything. I'd rather just stick with something like the HS26A because it doesn't have that governed circuit. You know, it's literally rebuild it, bolt it on, and run. So, little piece of information for you. Start looking for bigger carburetors if you're going to port your Homelites. It's going to end up extremely sluggish on you if you don't. I need that. You need that larger throat. But maybe I can. Here's an HS4D off an XL12, and I'm wondering. I mean, can you see it? I'm thinking about just going in there and grinding that out and opening it up. Might work, it might not. I only got like a dozen of them sitting on my table right here in front of me. Might as well try it, you know? But that's where we're at. Just a little update, bring you up current. As you see, the 20-inch bars, well, I got the 20-inch bar on here. You've seen it in that video, that little teaser video. Wait until you see it actually cut. It's amusing. It's amusing what a brand new chain cuts like. You know what I mean? You're going to see. So whenever you see this saw in the wood for the first time, you're going to realize how important sharpening is. You know, it's extremely important on these ported saw builds. It is. But yeah, that's it for today. I just wanted to get you up to date, you know. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Alrighty, later.